Hello everyone, TheSkilledRoy here, back with another Legends of Runeterra video. The World Walker reveal season is still underway, and things are looking absolutely awesome. Today we're going to be looking into the evidence for the final champion of the World Walker expansion. But first, a quick word from our sponsors. This video is brought to you by Mastering Runeterra, the one-stop shop for everything you need to get better at LOR. They've got deck guides on all the top decks, plenty of articles from top-level players, and even a matchup table that lets you know what you should be playing in the current meta. If you check them out using my link, you'll be not only getting access to some of the best resources out there, but you'll also be going a long way to supporting my channel as well. Use the code TSR at checkout to get 10% off any subscription. Thanks again to Mastering Runeterra for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. And we're back! So, let's talk about everything we know on the final champion for this reveal season. We are currently at 3 out of 4 revealed champions. Jhin was formally revealed at his special event, and it was an absolutely fantastic event that revealed tons of new cards for all the players. And during that event, we got to look at a trailer for the expansion, which was rather interesting. It featured, of course, Annie overlooking a bunch of Noxus. Now, I covered in my video on Annie, but it's very likely that she's going to be a Noxian champion, given the history of the character along with the leaked Burning House card. This would then later get proven in the Russian Path of Champions video that accidentally leaked her splash art, along with Bard, who is our third champion who is revealed. Now, logically looking at this, we have 2 Runeterran champions with Jhin and Bard. These champions do not exist in typical region restrictions. We also then have Annie, who is a Noxian champion. During the developer stream, they mentioned that there's going to be more than one non-Runeterran champion.
So, moving on, are non-Runeterran region champs going to continue to see support in the following expansions?
Absolutely. We're not done with regions by any means. There's a ton of champions in the League of Legends roster, in the universe of lore, that we think have really strong ties to a particular region, and we can't wait to bring them into the game. Even in World Walker, we have multiple champs that are not Runeterran.
This means that the 4th champion cannot be Runeterran. So let's start there. Can we figure out what region the 4th champion is? I believe we can. So, during the trailer we got to see 3 main things. Jhin, Annie in Noxus, and Garen in Demacia. So why are they choosing to highlight Garen of all characters when he's obviously already in the game? Well, this has to do with Path of Champions 2, which is coming to a new expansion at the same time as the World Walker expansion. This expansion to Path of Champions adds a ton of new features and upgrades to the system of the game, but most crucially, it adds 2 new areas to explore in the Path of Champions. There is now a Noxus area and a Demacia area. These are clearly showing why Annie and Garen were highlighted. This is especially important when you consider the playable champions that are in Path of Champions 2. Many of the former champions are now gone, and instead we only have 12 champions. They showcased 9 of them during their video, but they actually mentioned that 3 of them will be joining us later during the reveal season. Clearly, this means that the 3 champions that were meant to be here are going to be the 3 champions arriving with Jhin. Thanks to the Russia video, we know that 2 of them are Bard and Annie, but interestingly enough, this reveals a clear pattern. For every region currently in Path of Champions, there are 2 champion choices available. Demacia has Garen and Lux, Piltover and Zaun has Jinx and Vi, Noxus has Darius and Annie, Ionia has Yasuo and Lee Sin. Misfortune though, she's alone in Bilgewater. Now, thanks to the new story content that we know is arriving in the expansion, we can therefore figure out that the final champion must be from Bilgewater as well to complete this set pattern. Now, the good news is, there's only really 2 champions left for Bilgewater. We've got Graves the Outlaw and Illaoi the Kraken Priestess. These 2 champions are both champions that I mentioned previously had a great deal of evidence for them. So let's quickly review. Graves is obviously one of League of Legends' more popular champions, as a consistent jungler pick throughout many seasons. He's going to be a part of this year's Pride event with his partner Twisted Fate, and he even goes back as far as the Bilgewater expansion when he was first mentioned. The big piece of evidence though is that he recently got a new voiceover in his legendary skin, Sentinel Graves. As we've mentioned previously, generally Riot likes to get voice actors into the booth to record in batches. Seeing as Graves got a new voice acting relatively recently, it's entirely possible that they recorded his lines for Legends of Runeterra around the same time. Now for Illaoi, things are equally promising. Illaoi starred in one of the very first Riot Forge games, Ruined King, where she had a new voice actress and a pretty big focus in the overall story. Most importantly though, as of the most recent expansion, she is the only character who appeared in that game who has not yet been added to Legends of Runeterra. This, on its own, is quite bizarre, as it could stand to reason that they used the opportunity to get a new voice actress to also voice her LOR card. So just on the surface, both are pretty promising in terms of being ready for Legends of Runeterra, but it's pretty hard to say who specifically at this point. Thankfully though, the set designers of the expansion gave us a few hints as to what we should expect from this champion. Take a listen.
But are there any archetypes or cards that you're particularly excited about in World Walker?
I mean, absolutely. There's one of the archetypes coming up that's centered around a champion that I have played a ton of in League of Legends, and does a really unique strategy for their region. They kind of let you play at a game speed that region hasn't been able to in the past, and I can't wait to see them start to overwhelm their opponents.
So immediately, the specific word choice here is interesting, and that was that they allowed you to play at a speed that the region isn't typically known for. I suspect that this might be a slow-paced control-style archetype for Bilgewater, as Bilgewater is mostly known for aggro and combo archetypes. Now, this is just a guess based on general opinion, but Graves in League of Legends gameplay is generally more fast-paced and more of an aggressive character, suited to like an aggro deck. Meanwhile, Illaoi is a slow-paced character and is about taking longer, drawn-out fights compared to the pure burst damage that Graves brings. So a small edge to Illaoi perhaps, but nothing conclusive. However, the first thing that the developers said was actually the most important.
I mean, absolutely. There's one of the archetypes coming up that's centered around a champion that I have played a ton of in League of Legends.
You see, this developer introduced himself as Riot I Am Walrus. Now, please go follow him on Twitter, he's super cool, and I've absolutely loved some of the new cards revealed thus far. However, Riot's names are public information, and we can use tools to see what his most played champions are. So, here we go. Using championmastery.gg, we just have to look at his top champions and see who's higher, Graves or Illaoi. And there you have it. In his top 10 champions with over 70,000 mastery, Illaoi is right there. And you know what, just for argument's sake, I also looked up Graves, and he's at a pitiful mastery 1 with only 500 mastery. This makes it absolutely clear the champion that is arriving as the 4th champion in World Walker is going to be Illaoi, the Kraken Priestess. Well, that's it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. What do you guys think Illaoi will do in Legends of Runeterra? Feel free to let me know in the comments below, and we'll see how close you can all get. Anyways, everyone, thank you again once more for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.